The broadcast is now starting.
Good morning, good morning. Audio check, video check, please. Good morning, everyone. Very good, Patrick. Thank you. We might have a slow day today.
Did you just call me slow?
Good morning, Daryl.
Good morning.
How are you?
Great. How's everybody else?
Very good, thank you. How was your weekend, Daryl?
Good, good. Got a lot of yard work done.
Nice.
Yeah.
It seems like
How
a
was yours?
slow morning. Mine was okay, I guess. Not bad. I know, and weather was okay. Yeah, short though.
Good morning, everybody.
Expecting the crude to go up today. Let me check. But I see attractions lower. Let's see. When maybe after the crude opens, we can have a direction. In terms of everything else, I don't see anything at this time. It's very slow. No, it's not looking encouraging. Let's wait.
Did you? I love your call last Thursday at 9:30. You mentioned that you see a traction for YM to go to 24,700. They hit it
Yes,
last night.
yes.
Yep.
That was my long term. Yeah. Now attractions I have a little bit higher, and I have lower too, but there's nothing at this time. We have to wait for clarity. Hoping for the crude was not looking encouraging to either. It looks bullish on the long term charts, but on the other hand, short term charts I have attractions low. Good morning, Brad, Ralph. Morning. Euro could be something. I don't know if I could. You see, Euro. That's not my one of the things that I focus on, but Euro, we have attractions lower. We could have Euro coming down. It's a very slow morning. I don't see any movements. That's the Euro attractions. Nothing at this time for me. We shall wait and see.
Patience is key.
Exactly.
Did you like that rhyme?
Crude open now. We might see 66.50 crude attracted to 66.50 and 67.20. So this is 66.50 right here. I'll put a line, put an arrow, and I have 67.20. Right here. Hopefully, we can find an entry. Patience is key, and I usually look for high possibilities. Scotty, good morning. So patience is key. Waiting for a right opportunity, not getting involved when the market is not giving us anything. It's also key. Nat gas. Nat gas has been very dull. I'm not seeing anything on nat gas for a long time. Nothing. So we shall wait and see. We'll look for maybe a level on crude to get in. I'm looking for a long or an upper move or a bullish move this morning. But it's I need to find where my risk is, where my stop loss is. I don't have a proper stop. Here's why. Ideally, this area was the best. This area was the best to get in long. Good morning, Raj. Okay. So this area was best to get long. I'm looking at my daily charts and I'm finding this out. Now, if we get involved in this crude long, your stops have to be below 65 area. So which is a bigger stop than what I like. Okay. And this happened earlier, so missed opportunity. Other than that, folks, it might be a boring morning. Hopefully we can have some action, some levels later, but for now it is really just boring.
That's all right. Boring is good. Capital preservation is good. We're in the room to be on the right side of trades.
Yes. Meanwhile, folks, don't hesitate to ask questions. If you're in with us for the trial or if you're a member, we'll try and answer your questions. No, I don't look at it. No, I narrowed my instruments to whatever you see here, um, which is I think more than enough for to be able to control everything. So no, I don't look at dollar index. Hey Steve. Well, yeah, there will be. We have a full week. Steve, I don't look at small little scalps. We do have a strategy for that, and we have students and members who actually do scalping and take a look, look at these trades. But yes, we will be doing Nasdaq, Russell, YM. I usually look at bigger trades, bigger, still with a very small risk. So my strategy is to get one or two runners per week per instrument. That is sufficient. That's better than getting 20 small trades. So for now, I don't have anything. But if you look at the performance that or the trades that we've taken throughout the year, you will see a lot of Nasdaq, YM, Russell. The magenta lines are the attraction levels. This is an indicator that I created, and it's very powerful. Um, for example, when was it, Daryl, when I said the Nasdaq YM is going to 24,700 area? It was a week ago, right? Or more than a week. Thursday, you mentioned something, Daryl, about that. So the reason why we had I was expecting the Dow to go up was because of these attraction levels. These attraction levels.
Sorry about that. I stepped away for a second.
No worries, no worries, no.
No, Simon called back on, it was on Thursday. Last Thursday, he called YM. He says there's a traction for 24,700. Obviously, there was some heat. It didn't go directly there, but it hit it last night. It took two days, and you're looking at a 200 plus tick on just one contract. I mean, if you're willing to have patience and just sit there and wait, and it hit it. It hit it last night to the tick.
And that's what we do. That's what I'm trying to focus on. Safe trades, low risk. But the idea is, as Daryl knows, Daryl is also he's a new member that's with us. There are strategies. There is a specific section for scalping that you can learn using the volume profile, using the indicators that we have, and we will have a week together to explain and to answer questions as well.
Yeah, back in 2014, somebody introduced Simon to me and said, incredible room, try it. I had tried everything out there, obviously, and I know a lot of the members here, they're tired of hearing my story, but I'll tell you guys, it's just, when Simon has got over 14 plus years experience. He knows when to be safe and when there are good moves coming. And if you just have patience, like I said, I'd rather be bored a little bit and patient versus busy, in and out, racking up all kinds of commissions on trades, making anywhere from 2 to 10 ticks a time on one contract. I'd rather be able to pull off anywhere from 15 to 100 plus ticks on a trade. Patience is one of the key things in trading. And a lot of people still don't realize it.
Steve, these are CR. This is CR charts. What I'm using.
Good question, Steve. Keep at guys. If you got questions, ask. That's how you learn.
Hey, Bobby. Uh, yeah, Slack is the link was given to you as well, wasn't it? It's in the email
Yeah.
for Slack.
Yes, it was. I can post it. I'll post it on the site here.
Yeah. Also, I think we should put it on the website too. Um, I would. I said earlier, crude is attracted to these prices, as you see here. I'm afraid that there's a chance that we'll be missing this crude move unless I get a good entry point. I see, as you see, my arrows here pointing to 66.50 and 67.20. So yes, this is volume profile. Yes, good morning, David. And when I look at volume profile, let me look at the Dow, for example. Volume profile, it's not something that what you see here on volume profile. This is a just a small chart to show you what I look at with the instruments. But overall, I have multiple charts on the side per each instrument. For example, this is one of the charts that I look at when I trade when I look at the YM. When I make a trade call on the YM, for example, I look at charts like this. I start with the daily, then this is like a 2 hour chart, as you see. Um, there you go. What day was it? 31st, Thursday, 31st. So 31st here, as just Daryl mentioned, I called a trade um, from this area long to 24,700, which was here, this area.
Yep. When you called it, it was sitting at 24,443.
Yes, which is right around here.
Yep.
So basically, I look at multiple charts. Big charts will be the daily, sometimes even weekly. I would look at the daily, hourly, and then I narrowed down to tick charts. But patience is key. Um, don't get me wrong. This is also a fantastic method for scalping. There's a lot of scalping opportunities. It's just not practical for me doing what I'm doing, trying to get members to understand markets, trying to make calls, trade calls, trying to type them on Slack as well, and as well as answering questions. When we don't have trials, we answer questions. I teach. So I choose to pick the longer term or bigger trades with the lowest risk. So it requires patience. Again, making 10 trade calls that would go maybe 50-50 versus making one or two trades that would are more guaranteed. So 7105, 7111. I see that, Brad. Overall, I want to wait for the Nasdaq. Let me look at the best instrument today. To me, the clearest instrument is going to be the RTY. If we fail below 1650, I'm expecting RTY to be a. Let me put it down here. I would say RTY attracted to 1645. Okay, so I will find. Yeah, it's a very small range. The market is hesitant. It's early Monday trading, so leave it alone. So I will grab an arrow. I would say attracted to this level. Once we get to that level, we might have more attraction, but for now, that's the attraction. Nasdaq attracted to 7060. So Nasdaq is attracted to this price. Again, I don't trust the market now. I don't have anything on the market now. My first thing in the morning, I mentioned the euro is attracted to come back lower, but euro I don't usually get involved with. It's been very hesitant, very slow at times. And I will look at the YM. YM is still having some move to go higher. So YM, I don't have anything at this time. It's confused. So I'll leave it alone. As much as I don't like sitting on the sideline and watching the markets, but folks, I cannot really force anything. I will leave it. And I feel like we are missing on the crude. Crude touched early this morning, touched a very prominent support level. And as I mentioned, the crude is attracted to 6650, 6720. And these are the arrows that I pointed to, see 1, 2. We might see these levels. Um, there must be the link, the page. There must be, Roger. You click on it. You're not familiar with Slack? I don't think you need a password. It's a free, or it's asking for login and password. Hmm. Um, everybody has the same thing. Because we could take it up to Jay. Jay deals with that. Don't. Oh, you. I think I don't know how it works. Email me. Can you do me a favor, Roger? Email me or email Daryl, and we can forward it to Jay. See what's going on. I'll look at it. Um, Anybody has, because I don't deal with Slack personally. Anybody has the same issue, getting the same issue? For example, if you go to the website, if you go to the actual website, we changed the page where you go in for the trial registration. You see, if you go to the main website, you click on the trial, you'll get this page now, and this page has Slack access. I don't know why you would get a password username. You should. I think you should register first or download Slack and register. But I am not getting that. See? There must be something that I don't understand at this time. Anybody else has the same issue? Roger's saying he's been asked for a username and password for Slack. No. So you are in Slack, Raj? No issues. Okay. So, but you had Slack or you had to download and register for Slack ahead of time, correct? Um, what's the difference? This is um, it is a good question you're asking. I would like to maybe gather my thoughts and answer it. I have been using this method. Let's go to an example. Hourly, 30-minute on charts. Your question is, why am I? Oh, what happened? Why am I using um, a continuation volume profile versus using it on each bar? Okay, using it on each bar, it will not give me the general idea for my trading. What I want to see, look, what I want to see, Bobby, I want to see volume that is accumulated over the whole period. If I want to see one bar, I can see this much of volume, for example. See how dynamic it is? It reads only one. But I want to see the entire attitude of the market, the entire level, generally speaking. So I know where the volume was heaviest, where the attraction is. I can see where the rejection parts are, the continuation zones, etc. It's just more clarity. I don't like the individual bars. And believe me, 10, 15 years ago, I tried everything, and I'm open for all suggestions. I'm open for anything that will enhance my understanding of the market. But I realize the keep it simple is the best way. So I keep it simple, keep it general, keep it. Let me get my charts back. They were minimized. I don't know why. Well, volume that is plotted on these charts, Bobby, has nothing to do with the tick or hours. It's a volume in general. This is a volume indicator that is reading the volume in the market, regardless of what kind of chart you put in. The idea of a tick chart is just to see um, smaller areas. So target for Nasdaq, I don't have a target, Robert. I didn't call a trade on Nasdaq. I don't have anything yet. So I don't know. We have to wait. There's nothing clear. To me, Robert, when I call a trade, first thing I need to know is what is my risk. So although now I can see, for example, there's a chance for the Nasdaq to come back to 70.60 as I mentioned, but if I don't know my risk, I am not calling that trade. No. A trade call meaning I have to say, okay, sell or buy, and this is your stop, and these are your levels, or take this much for first target and move your stops. It has to be clear. Sometimes when the entry is not very clear, I would say, okay, the entry is not very clear, but we have a range of stop. If anybody wants to use options or small amount, or uses a technique that we call adding and averaging, you can do that. But no, this was just a direction that I see at this time, and it's 9:30, so the market might change or might shift volume, so we have to wait. The market just opened, and now I see a lot of volume coming in. Um, Bobby, the key method or the key idea is to anticipate the market and then confirm and then execute. So anticipating is key. With this volume reading method that I have is I'm anticipating the market movements ahead of time. But then there's no harm done if the market doesn't go according to my anticipated level, because I will not call a trade unless I see some kind of confirmation, which means I need to know my my stop loss. For example, now I can see Nasdaq has a chance to go to 7112. 7112 is right, a few points higher, 7012 to 14. But I don't have a stop loss to call it. Like, I don't have a level. See these areas, 7112 is possible, 7012, 7114 is possible. It is bullish, but where's my stop if I call a trade? Here, 7112 is here. It's great for scalpers, and 7114 is here, and I can see the market for a short term to go to them. But where is my stop loss? I have no idea. I have no. I mean, I could say stop loss, 10 points. What's that's more than my anticipated move.
Yeah, just remember, guys. Last month we had trade calls of 1,930 ticks, and it was based off of his ACE mentality: anticipate, confirm, execute. And you got to have patience. It will always. If you miss a trade, don't be impatient. Don't worry. There'll be another trade.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've been on mute. I've been on mute. I don't know for how long, but I hope you guys heard me when I said Nasdaq is going to 7112, 7114, and it's gone there already. Another question was asked was Bobby was asking resistance using, yes, that's what I do. I use my indicators for anticipating the markets, anticipating the moves, but volume profile is the main thing to anticipate the first thing. I use my volume profile. So first thing, I use my volume profile to anticipate the market direction. For example, I anticipated the Nasdaq, the crude to go up to 70, and that's answering also David's question, to 70 to 66.50, and I see 67.20. But first of all, I anticipated the crude to go up. So anticipating the crude to go up was based on volume profile on a weekly chart or a daily chart, very big chart. That's one. Second, what is the target? And this is when I use my other indicators, the attraction levels, the DRLs, and the power lines. Okay? So yes, it's a combination of things, but the main thing remains volume profile. If you cannot read volume profile, you will have a hard time determining the direction of the market, because volume controls the market. We have more bullish movements on the Nasdaq coming up. Look at the euro. Too slow. I see also 25, Brad, 24 and 25 on Nasdaq. YM is approaching a good resistance area as well. Let's wait. No rush. So it's how many houses were sold in a city, not just the price they got. Maybe I don't understand your terminology, but what I'm looking at is using volume as a direction first, and then using like long-term volume, and then I break it down to smaller areas, which is very easy to do. You just grab charts. I'll try and grab some charts tomorrow and explain. Yeah, that mentality, yes, for the general direction of the market or for the instrument, yes, for the day. And then you have to break it down to basically neighborhoods to see what is the best. Now we are approaching a very nice resistance on YM. YM possible reversal short, possible reversal short. And I'll mark it down, tools, rectangle. This is your, let me make sure that I am doing okay in terms of my view. We wait. Trying to find a good level to get in. Not yet, not yet, not yet. YM resistance. Where is it? 2460 to 2480. 24860. 24860 to 80. So again, this is anticipate. This is anticipation. It might not give us anything. So this is not a trade call, all right? This is anticipation. I'm anticipating resistance on YM. And you see, all of a sudden I see more attraction, so I have to wait. It might go above my anticipated level. Okay? No, 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 no. I'm not, this is not a trade call. This is, I'm anticipating something here between, even now higher, as you see. Maybe higher. You see there's attraction higher. No, no. This is possibilities, just possibilities. You will get used to these, and if you ask questions, more questions, please, you will understand more. Come on, don't let me miss it. I want to see a little bit higher move on the YM. I hope I can get something out of it because it looks like a very nice reversal level. Patience is key. Very good, Patrick. Excellent. Patrick, do you use options by any chance for some of these trades that have bigger stops? I know Aegis does and some other members do. The market is, yes, the market, no, you don't. Okay, good. The market is very hesitant, and it's not giving me any sense of where my risk is or where my stop loss is at this time, especially on the indices. For example, I really want to short the RTY, the Russell, but I don't see a safe stop. Come on, YM, don't do this to me. YM has a chance to go for a scalp to these attraction levels, as you see. Um, Nasdaq is approaching. Well, if you look at the Nasdaq, look at the Nasdaq. Nasdaq is just going through charts, detach. Look at the Nasdaq. It's going to new highs, and look at the volume above it. Nothing that I like. So Nasdaq has to be coming down for me to grab it short. It has to confirm, or to call it short. has to confirm that they move down. It has to come back down first. It has to prove itself. No, no, I tried. I looked at them. The volume is not the best. Um, yeah, the volume is not the best. So it's basically more of a gambling thing with the Bitcoins, I think. If I don't see, if I cannot anticipate the moves, I really don't like to look at an instrument. It has to give me something that is not gambling. I need to know. Again, with learning how to read volume profile, folks, you're not guessing. You see, and your decisions are made on based on logic. You can use it for options, futures, forex, ETFs, CFDs. What size do you recommend trading? Well, for futures, you need a bigger account. And there's no way to sugarcoat this, but with a $5,000 account, you don't expect to trade 3-4 contracts. So generally speaking, to be safe, I think $10,000, $7,000 to $10,000 per contract is recommended. And that's also optional, of course. You could be a scalper. You can learn how to scalp. You can use smaller. Okay, YM. Let me see. 2, 4. I wanted to call it long. Let's wait. Would have been first target out already. Let's see. Let's wait. I want to wait for a good entry point on YM for a long to grab the first attraction level. Let's see if I have a good entry point at this time. Wait, not yet though. I don't like what I see. It's just too small of a level. No, Steve, you sold at 60. I think you should get out now. It's going to go back up. I was about to call a scalp long, but for me to call a scalp long, it's very, very tough. Why? Because I have to type it. So I will stick with maybe calling scalps in the just audio if there's a scalp. Okay. So I was looking at a scalp long to 60 again, from 40 to 60. Yeah, but you made money, right? So I was looking to call a long. No, I don't think you should stay in it for now. I mean, most likely it's going to go back up. Anyway, it's your choice because I did not call it. I just suggested a resistance here. I said there's resistance in this area on YM. Right now is going, you're not a student. I can see that. because you did not understand the trade call. But again, you did well. No, you see more attraction. Look at these attractions that are showing up. Look at these. So it's going up again, and I was about to call a scalp long, but for me, scalping is stressful, especially because of what I do. I have to type it, I have to anticipate it, I have to call it. Um, and you know, you have to also take first target within maybe 5 to 10 ticks depending on the instrument. Move your stops. So if you get stopped out, because the stops are very, very small, you know. No, no, no. These are not tradable lines. These are attraction levels. No, there's reasons why we have in a trial. So for you to understand. So please don't trade unless you're a member and you understand. It worked great. Yes, I know, because I knew 60 was a resistance here, and it brought it down. But one thing I didn't know is where was my stop loss? Where was my risk? Right? I keep emphasizing on risk. If I know the trade is going to happen, if I can see it very clearly, yet I don't know my risk, I don't call that trade. Do you see the hesitation on the YM? It's a mess, right? We have so much attraction. Upper, you see the pink, the magenta lines, folks? This is where I see attraction too at this time. Okay? And 30 would be a level that I would look to have it as a stop, but the market is not giving me any strength. So I would leave it alone for now. It looks like a very slow, not slow, hesitant though, hesitant. Yeah, it was an attraction level, Steve. These pink, they're not pink, they're magenta lines. I don't know. You see them pink from your end? Or maybe pink. They are attraction levels. So the market was usually would get back to them. You see NASDAQ, we have a magenta line lower and a magenta line higher. So for me to have a safety, if I want to go, if I want to call a scalp long, I would rather have these magenta lines taken out of the way. My God, so much hesitation. I'll be uh, I'll be just a minute, folks. I'll be right back. Um, Too early for that observation, Steve, because these are attraction levels for the market to get back to them, and there's the method actually calls for anticipate, confirm, execute. And an example is this level, this trade call on the YM. I really wanted to call it long from around 40, even 39, 38 to call it long. But then I see no follow through there. I see I see a lot of hesitation uh, um, because I see the attractions here, and I see a rejection level. So uh, the, what do I mean by confirmation? Is there's no something. It's not something physical that you see for confirmation. It's how the market will behave and how the market will move around the rejection levels. Now, we've been talking about uh, uh, attraction levels, right, and volume profile. But the main thing is choosing the level of rejection on that market profile. These levels of rejections are your main rejection levels. So there is a lot of hesitation in the market, and when there's hesitation, I don't get involved. I don't get hesitant. So just sit back, relax. We all we need is 1, 2, 3, 4 trades this week for a good amount of ticks. You're welcome. And when the market is not going according to what I see or anticipated, I leave it alone. It's not that I have to trade this hour or this minute. I'll leave it alone. I will see if there's a chance later, and the idea is to get into the good trades. How many traders will jump every time the market moves a tick? That's not a good way of trading. So we leave it alone for now. I will look at my longer term on Nasdaq. Oh, gold. Yeah, gold is sitting at an intersection of do or die. Look at Nasdaq. More attraction lower on the Nasdaq. Where's the next lower? Below 18. Well, listen, the Nasdaq. What happened? Sorry, on YM. What happened is that I was anticipating 60 to 80 to be a major reversal level. I said resistance between 24,860 to 24,880, which is where the box around the box is. It touched it, it bounced down, and yet I'm not comfortable. I was not comfortable calling it. So, which means I would like to see another move up on YM, another move up on YM, and then maybe grab a big short, a bigger move down for a short. Meanwhile, if there's a chance to grab it long, I would. You got out at 18, good for you. Excellent, excellent. Now I think YM, and that was based on the anticipated levels that I mentioned, right? Now YM has a chance now to go back up. I will say YM support at, no, this is Nasdaq, sorry. Nasdaq support at 71.11 area. So let's wait for the Nasdaq. Where is the next ping below 18? I don't have much below 18 at this time. It's all the way down here. RTY. And it's funny how RTY, first thing in the morning I mentioned RTY is attracted to 1645. Look, it's coming back down to 1645. Maybe that will be a support. I have to wait. Nasdaq, I'm expecting it also to go back up before I move down. Same thing with the YM. 90. 90. Okay. Good job, Steve. RTY could be a good level. See, RTY, I was expecting this early in the morning. Nothing at this time, just hesitation. You see the same, Brad, on NASDAQ 11? Very good. Yay, Nasdaq. Um, no, pink was attraction. Now, there is support in the area for the Russell, but pink was attraction level. It means I was expecting the market to come to it. For me to find a good entry point long on the Russell, I have to find my risk. I have to know what my risk is. It could go back up because the attraction is gone, but I don't have a stop loss. You see, I don't have a stop loss. Pink line is gone on the Russell. Um, Nasdaq. Why did it leave it? I was looking for a Nasdaq. Patience, folks. Now, don't forget, even after we close the room at noon, uh, uh, I still see the market, look at the market, and call out levels and trades using Slack. No, these are, this is a new indicator. Yeah, they come automatically, and these are attraction levels. This is based on volume, based on depth of market, based on certain curriculum that, certain characteristics of the volume. I will have a chance throughout the week to actually go over the indicators, to explain things We'll have until Thursday together, so we'll have a great chance to talk and chat and explain things. We wait now. Yes, when you have multiple levels, multiple lines, thicker lines, and it depends on the thickness too. The thicker, the more volume there is for attraction. For example, you see this one here on YM is thick, so this is bigger than the one at the bottom. However, here's how I look at folks. Steve is asking some good questions where it reminds me to tell you a few things. My main thing is to find the direction, the trade. So let's say this is the volume profile. This is the volume, for example. This is the level of continuation, and I'm looking for a short from here because above it, this is continuation zone. Continuation meaning the market will continue if it touches it. And we have above it another level that's called rejection, R. Pay attention, folks. So when the market is going up to this rejection and we have pink lines showing up, guess what? I don't bother with these. Unless I'm long and I'm taking profits on these and these pink lines or magenta lines. My main focus, if I'm not in this trade, to find a level here to call it short. This is where I would look at other factors such as where's my target, such as the magenta lines, such as the DRLs, power lines that we have, etc. So when the market is in between, I don't bother with it unless I am in it in a continuation zone. So I will just keep it. Very good, Steve. Thank you. When the market is in the middle of nowhere and it hesitates and it goes back and forth, this is where most people make the wrong decisions. You need to understand the continuation zone. You need to understand. No. Actually, your questions are bringing up some good answers that helps other trial members too. Now, if there is a trade coming up, I will not answer questions, but for now, I'm looking for possible support on RTY to bring it back up. Daryl?
No, don't, Steve. Good, great questions. I mean, seriously, don't be afraid. When I first entered the room, I was hesitant on asking questions too. And to understand volume profile, I mean, you got to ask. Nobody goes into the market understanding how to trade. They've got to learn. The idea is to learn the proper methodology on how to trade.
I would look at the crude, folks. It's coming down. Luckily, it's coming down for maybe a better entry level. Okay. I will look at the crude as well, folks. Let me see if there's anything that I would like to find. Support 65. Where is support on crude? Okay. Thank you, Scotty. Appreciate it.
Exactly right, Scotty.
Patience is key, folks. You can learn everything to do with the market, but if you're not patient and wait for the good opportunities, believe me, that's not a good thing. It's going to be just gambling. Idea is, at the end of the week, what we've done. At the end of the month, what we've done. It's not about one trade. And I'll repeat this. I mentioned way ahead of time YM has a resistance between 60 and 80, which is right at the top, 60, 24,860, 24,880. It bounced down, look, 60 ticks or so. But I did not call that trade because, I didn't know. I didn't have a stop loss. I didn't know what my stop loss would be. And yet I'm expecting the YM to go up, but I still don't have a stop loss. I don't know where my stop loss is. So I would not call it. Knowing my risk ahead of time uh, is important. Yes, that's why, Patrick, you make a good point. You make your own decision, and I encourage everybody to make their own decision. Sometimes I would call out a level for let's say a long or a short, a trade, right? And I will tell them I will not get involved. I will not call it. If anybody wants to take it on their own, that's up to them. You have different ways of taking these trades. Could be scalping, power lines. Could be averaging, right?
You got it.
Could be options. We have members who would take this on options, right? So
One of the big things in this room, guys, is write down what Simon calls out, what he sees. And at the end of the week, you want to be able to go back and look at it, see the levels that he sees, see the opportunities or entry levels. Write it down on paper or mark it on your charts too.
Nadex, yeah, I have actually a prominent member who actually trades all these calls with Nadex. He doesn't touch futures because it's short term, right, Carl? And he doesn't have to worry about a couple of ticks of, here and there of stop loss. We know the direction. Yeah, no, he does Nadex. That's all he does. Do I need to see crude? Okay. If you hear clicking, it's on the other mouse on the side computers. It's a bit noisy. I look at other charts as well, bigger frames. Brad, how do you see the market for scalping? I'm not comfortable with it today with scalping. RTY, the Russell, has a big stop. Therefore, I am not comfortable with it either. RTY has a good support at 1643 area. Again, it's an area. It's not one price. Did we miss the crude? Holy cow, that was fast on the crude. 1 second, folks. 1 second, folks. Where is the crude? Why did it? Okay. Yeah, a little bit lower on crude, and there might be a long on crude as well. I'm looking for a level on the Russell. I am not comfortable with it, to be honest with you folks, because the stop loss is big at this time. So let's wait. I just typed crude big support around 65. Let's see if we can grab it. First of all, I'll see how is it behaving here. He didn't come to 65, not yet. Are we gonna miss the crude? Let's wait. I will see how the crude behaves, so I will maybe call it if I see it. Wait, 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 wait. The stop loss is big on crude. Let's go long on crude. I will call a stop loss. For now. Anybody got in at around 65, 65.02, 65.05? I will take 15 ticks. Call 15 ticks. First target. 15 on 2, that is 30 ticks. So that will give us a good chance, okay, to grab, to be to have a safe stop, because we'll move our stop. I would call it an exit if I don't like it from here, but for now I'm okay. Move stop to 64.90, please. I don't like this hesitation here, so if I get stopped out, that's okay. And if you can take 10 ticks first target, that will be sufficient. I don't mind if my stop loss get hit, folks. I'm okay with that. 64.90 is the stop that I called on crude, and it's a very strong support level. If it holds, we'll have a move all the way up to 65, 65.20, 65.60. Okay. And if it doesn't hold, we have a traction lower. So we have a big jump lower if it doesn't hold. See, that's why I have to keep the stops tight. The stops very small, even though I'm looking for a big move. Um, 65.10 or yeah, 10 is not bad for the first target if you got 65 entry. First target has to be small because I see the hesitation and we leave a runner. This is a prominent reversal level, and I will explain after we get into our first target, so that will give us safety. It's a 3 contract trade call. We take 2/3 on the first target. So if you take 10 ticks first target, that is 20 ticks, and your stop loss could be up to 20 ticks or 19 ticks without the risk, because if you get stopped out, you at least made the first target. Anybody has questions on the strategy? You see the hesitation that's happening in the market? Come on, buddy. That's it. Yeah, I see them here. I see all these levels, Brad. And I'll explain. That's a good thing. And I'll explain why I moved my, I recommended the stop loss 90 instead of 80. Because if 90 hits, you see 80 is also. So folks, trading is about choosing um, choosing a level where you have least risk. We have to understand that. We have to agree on that, because if you don't know your risk, you will just take a random trade with a random stop loss. But if you know your risk, you at least you know if the market touches that. And I'll explain the idea behind these. We call them smart stops. How many of us have not heard that uh, phrase for a long time, right? We have not used that phrase. Okay, first target is out on crude. Now, here's the thing. If you have gotten at few ticks better, then your first target was more than 10 ticks. If you got in, because I said 65.10 is good for first target. If you got in 2 ticks worse, then your first target was maybe 8 ticks. As long as you keep your runner safe. Make sense? Oh, YM came to a nice level of reversal. I was busy with the crude. Members, anybody uses monthly on crude? Monthly charts on crude? 10:30 is a major time for reversals and movement. 10:30 Eastern time. So this time is around, we just passed 10:30. So let's see. Do we have audio?
Yes,
Hello?
we do.
Good. Okay.
Sorry if I'm a little distracted this morning, guys. I got to take my mom for a colonoscopy here after a little bit. But
Oh,
for any of those out in the room that need a colonoscopy, don't be afraid to go out there and get it, or use Cologuard on Excess Sciences.
please
You didn't
pass my regard to your mom, and hope she's
know,
okay.
you didn't know this room was about getting colonoscopies, did you?
No, no, no. After the first target, we can talk about Good stuff. So first target is out, so now we're good. We're comfortable. Okay, now also what time are you leaving? You said 11:30?
Yeah, 11:30 or a little before. I got to make sure I got her up there by 1 o'clock. So I got a
11:30
hour
Central,
trip.
that is 12:30 my time.
Yes, yep.
Yeah,
I
so,
should be here for the whole time. Yep.
okay, good. Let me explain this call, folks. Okay, if you attended the trial from the beginning, let's focus on the crude. You understand this is the first trade call that I made today, right? Everything else that I commented was not a trade call, was it?
No.
Okay, it was anticipation.
Correct.
We anticipated the Nasdaq resistance. We anticipated the YM resistance, and but first thing in the morning, let's focus on the crude. First thing in the morning on the crude, if you look at my crude, 9:01 9:01 in the morning, which was a minute into the opening of the room. I said crude is attracted to 66.50, and the crude 66.50. The crude was actually sitting at in the morning was sitting here. This is the 9 o'clock today, and it was somewhere here. So I said crude is attracted to 66.50, and I said, but I don't have a trade level. I wish I can get a good entry point. Didn't I say that, folks? And I said also it's attracted to 67.20. 67.20 is higher. So I also put two arrows onto two different levels here, and these are manual, and here. This is a magenta line, which is a very prominent attraction level. So just before 10:30, so an hour and a half after, I see the crude crashing down to lower, and I said 10:17. I said 65 is a CL support, crude support, and I also said big support just before 10:30. I said big support at 65, so it means I'm giving you a heads up, and then I called it long 10:28. 10:28 is 10:28 was right here. What, right here, 65 area. And I said stop loss 64.80 for now. Take first target 15 ticks, and I changed my mind. I said take first target 10 ticks. Why? Because I saw the hesitation. Then move the stop loss to 64.90. I called the stop loss move to 64.90 before the first target was hit. Why? Because here's exactly why, and here's exactly why you should learn volume profile. This is the crude CL. This is the crude attraction level that I'm looking for the crude to go into initially, right? And this is the crude in the morning at the open. When we opened the room, 9 o'clock, the crude was here after bouncing from somewhere here and was going up. I said, I want to go long on crude. I want to call a trade on crude long, but I don't have an entry point. I wish I can get a good level. So it crashed down. This is the continuation zone. This zone, we call it continuation zone. It crashed down to the bottom of the continuation, which is, it ends up at a rejection zone. This is my rejection zone. It's all in the volume profile at this time. We're not looking at pink lines. Now, I called it long with a stop loss at 80. Let's assume this is 80. Here, this is 80, 64.80. Then I realized, using my attraction levels, we had magenta lines sitting, or attractions here, here, and here. And I thought if it touches 80, it's going to crash down lower to the next continuation zone. Next continuation zone is very, very deep, very big. It could bring it down lower. That being said, I mentioned, okay, now move your stop loss to 64.90. Why? It's not about wishing, hoping. It's about, smart. If I know if the market touches 90, it's going to touch 80 and it's going to come back lower. So why do I keep it at 80? Why do I keep my stop loss 10 ticks lower? Why? There's no need to. So I asked for the market for you to lift your stop loss to 90. So now our risk is 10 ticks, 10 ticks instead of 20 ticks. Now, another thing is if from one thing, if I save you, if you learn where your stop loss is and you start trading with 2 ticks less of a stop, 2 ticks times $10 times 3 contracts, that is $60. And if I save you one stop loss a day, 2 ticks that is times 5, okay, that's a week, times 52 weeks. Folks, by saving 2 ticks, learning this method, that's only one aspect of learning volume profile. Annually, you should save over $15,000 just from making, tightening up your stop according to this method.
And by being patient.
Again, say that, please.
Oh, I said, and by being patient.
Thank you. I just wanted to
You
emphasize
betcha.
on that because we realized the crude was going up, or at least the volume profile was telling it's going to go up, and then we have attraction levels. Did I get into the market? No, I didn't. Did I call a trade? No, until it came back down to my perfect reversal level. The weather is better today. It's hot, Daryl.
Yes, it is. Yes, we're supposed to get up to 85 today in Minnesota.
Nice. It's a bit chilly here today. It was hot yesterday. It was warm last week. Today is chilly, 17 Celsius, which is around 60, something like
60.
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
We had that yesterday. We only had a high about 65 yesterday.
Yeah. So today I cannot open the window to listen to the birds like you.
Can you hear the birds?
Yes, I love it.
It's just irritating when they're out there singing at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning when you got the window.
Yeah, and they've been aggressive. We had warning by Ontario somewhere, like whatever, on TV, aggression by birds, and they've been aggressive. Some kind of birds we have because it's mating seasons, and where we live, I live in the country, and it's full of birds and animals, and
Well, there's one bird right by a tree right by our windows that's a blackbird, and you can tell it's a mom, and she's out there every morning. Oh,
what an amazing game yesterday. I feel bad. Uh, the Cavs were deflated in game one. I wanted to see a more competitive game
yeah.
yesterday.
Any guys watch the NBA
Oh,
playoffs last night?
I did from whistle to whistle.
Yeah, I shut it off at about the beginning of the fourth quarter because
It was done.
I knew, yep, it was done. Curry could not miss. I mean, when he throws a ball up from halfway, Golden State, yeah. And he throws a ball up off balance and it goes swishes. Oh my gosh.
His dad played for Toronto at the end of his career.
No, I didn't know that.
No, he did. Dill, he did. Same style, same thing.
Hmm. minutes. Who lives about 15 minutes from you, Scotty? Curry.
Oh,
Gotcha.
nice. Who's in this crude?
I am.
Nice. ETFs, very good, Harish. Very, very good. Oh, forgive me. Yes, the target, it's already mentioned this morning. 65.20. What is it here? 66.50 and 67.20 here.
I've actually even got a level at 66.18.
Nice. RTY is our next. Our next possible trade call. I just don't like. I don't have a stop loss. I can't. RTY is my next level. That's my next focus, but I don't have a stop loss. No, I didn't see that. He did get in trouble? I don't watch a lot of news, you know. We watch more important things. We watch Mickey Mouse at home, Caillou. There's a lot of those.
Do they still have Barney?
No, no.
Blue's Clues?
Blue's Clues, no, just on YouTube, and because my older ones grew up with Barney, YouTube, Blue's Clues, but the smaller ones, the younger one, she's 5, she doesn't. So, but she loves it on YouTube when she watches it. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate. Yeah, patience, serenity. We have to be patient as traders. As somebody shot Barney. Uh, Jennifer, here, if you go to the website or even the landing page, look, let me go to the Trader Institute website for a second. Show you something very important. Please pay attention. Many years ago, we invited Dr. Kenneth Reed to the room. First, you can see the video through going to Resources, Education, or you can go to the Trial button and scroll down to the Education tab, right? Free Education, here. Okay, so this video, Adult ADD, of course, this free education will tell you a lot of things about our strategy, what we have, what we use. You'll learn a lot. But this video in particular, Adult ADD and how it manifests itself in traders, it's amazing. This is the main reason why most traders, most people don't succeed in trading. It's because of their mental state, the hesitation, the fear of losing, and the greed, and a lot of things. So this room,
Yeah, even.
we're
I'm sorry.
patient. We're
Yep,
patient.
even I'd watched the videos 2 or 3 times a couple years ago, and I watched it 2 weeks ago and took the test again on there. It's got a 10-question test on there because I need to know me. I need to know who I am. And Simon is like a lighthouse in a sea of a raging sea. And And the thing of it is, it's not just what Simon knows. We're here to teach you how to do that too. That's what everybody, if you understand that, you want to be able to see the levels, be patient. Yes, it'll go against you sometimes. I mean, I had a YM trade last week. Now, this is me. I've learned to do this. I had a trade that went against me 40, 50 ticks. But this is me. I'm not condoning that. And I let it go. And it ended up going 250 plus ticks in my favor.
Thank you. And if the crude trade call fails, guess what? It's going to still be a positive trade, right? Because of it's not only knowing the levels, it's also managing your trades. You need to know how to manage these trades, and it's a combination of things. Thanks, Jennifer.
Yeah, Jennifer, I know a lot of guys in here have already heard me. I joined Simon's room at a recommendation of a guy, and I tried quite a few rooms. I didn't buy a lot of packages. I had bought one or two, but I sat in rooms, Simon's trials for weeks upon weeks. Put it this way, I didn't join until the beginning of this year because I had some other things in my life that I couldn't join. It gave me the luxury to be able to join. But I would bug Simon all the time. And he would sit there and says, I see this. And I actually would trade off of Simon's trials level, and they were over 90% accurate. It's just unbelievable. And I got away from the mentality of wanting to trade for these 3, 4, 5 tick type of mentalities where my commissions were killing me anyway. Patience is key.
I will take a short break for a quick breakfast. Daryl, is that okay? You're okay with that? Just 5 minutes.
I am great.
Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes.
You are right, Scotty. I mean, I cannot. I'm going to address the lion in the room. I used to get hung up on, yeah, it was going to cost me $4,000 or $5,000 to join this room, and it would hang up. I mean, I could buy another indicator from another room for $250, for $500, and oh my gosh, if I could save you guys time and dollars, I kid you not. There's a reason why Simon's room is so successful and why he does great. Patience, capital preservation, his ACE methodology. Yes, he's got a little bit of an accent, but Simon's heart is true. I can't express that to you enough. I mean, if you get into this and get over, I mean, if I offered everybody in this room, just said, join the room, it's free of charge, there's no value to it. But his levels are incredible. I mean, do you guys know what 1,930 ticks called out last month equates to? Do the math. I mean, it all depends on how many contracts you're trading, what you're trading, what instrument you're trading. I mean, as far as if you're doing options, if you're doing Canadian, I strictly do futures. They're more liquid. I've learned. I started off only trading one contracts, and I'll be honest with you, I only trade 1 to 2 contracts a lot of times because I still have that ADD on me to go bigger on contracts. Getting back to the subject, I see crude is sliding a little bit here. I was kind of hoping Houston would take it, get in the finals, but they couldn't quite pull it off on the NBA.
I am back and I see the crude backstabbed us. That's okay. That's okay, buddy. Still, thank you, Tony. Thanks, Jennifer. Okay, crude. See these attraction levels? I need to worry about that for now. By the way, crude was still a small little profit if you followed the three contract strategy. And here's the look at the YM. I expected the YM to go higher to this level and just did. It's a mess on the indices for now. The crude was 90 was the stop, so no, still okay, still a safe trade, still a profitable trade because of the first target and the nice entry level that we had. It's the market, the indices are looking very strong, so we sit on the sideline for now. Crude is looking like a strong move going up. However, I don't like to chase CL. Still looking strong, but no re-entry pricing for me or point. Which means I don't like to chase. I don't like to confuse myself. Just because it's strong, it doesn't mean that I have a good entry point. After all, the stop loss that I had in mind was hit, and this is the level that I plotted earlier.
Remember what Simon teaches. Even if you miss a trade, there'll always be another trade. It's all right.
Yes.
Patience.
Yes. A lot of you have different trading styles, different indicators, different ways of looking at the market. Adding this, you don't have to adapt it 100%. Some of you will probably add it to their whatever they know, and they will benefit from picking the levels, picking the direction, choosing the stops. Some of you will benefit from maybe the teaching. Some of you will benefit from the indicator. Some of you will benefit from the whole package. Talk to Daryl. Um, again, we have a week together. Hopefully, you'll enjoy it. But I recommend that you talk to Daryl.
Yeah, just give me a shout. I'm a down to earth person. Grew up on a farm. All I know is hard work and trust, transparency, and being honest. I'm not going to mislead you.
One of the reasons why I offered trial since the beginning of my um, career in this, I always offer trials, is because I want you to see what you're getting into. Um, we offer also money back guarantee, and we've been offering that for many years. It's not now. So come on, let's see something.
I tried to get my money back, but I couldn't afford to want my money back after I learning this methodology.
Yeah. No, you get if you look at the membership, um, you will get a full week chance after you sign up to get your money back if you don't like what you see or if you think that this is not for you. But the trials, with the trial you would know, I'm sure. It is slow, folks. Hey, Scotty left. looking at some levels. Um, my next level on crude, where is it? It's just going to be a very tough level if I don't see anything. Don't have an entry. We mentioned when I asked you to move the stop to 90. I mentioned if 90 hits, it has a chance to come back down to 80 and even lower. And this is exactly what's happening. We have a lot of attraction, not to be ignored. You see these magenta lines? So therefore, not being emotional, being logical is key. What's the next level on crude? Trying to find a good smart area, a rejection area on crude. I cannot find it. So although I thought it was strong, I could not find any re-entry level, which is okay. Anticipation is only the first thing of this method. You have to confirm. So if I don't have a stop loss confirmed, if I don't know where my stop loss is, I don't get involved. Similar to the euro. If you see the euro, first thing in the morning, I did this. I did not put it on Slack, but I mentioned the euro is going to be a downtrend, and it was around 11,735, 40, something like that. It's down more than 30 ticks. $64, $69. Yeah, yeah. There is no need for a bigger stop. Folks, it's slow, it's lethargic at times. Careful. RTY is moving slowly and it's showing, although I was looking for the RTY to touch a support and go back up, but then look, we have a lot of attraction lower. These magenta lines are not to be ignored. Um, let's look at the NASDAQ from the long period charts. Nothing in this for me, folks, at this time. Any questions, please don't hesitate. We might have some movements. Monday's usually slow, but tomorrow we have final service PMI, ISM non-manufacturing PMI. We might have some movements as well. Wednesday we have some news as well. Uh, let's hope for a good moving week.
When we have really good weeks, Simon breaks out in song on Thursday. He'll sing to you.
Yeah, yes.
The Barney song. I am you, you are me.
That's funny. No, Thursday I'm off.
That's funny.
Thursday I'm off. I'll be sick Thursday.
All right, Tony, we're gonna have to get you a headset so you can join in on the song.
Who's on a Slack sign up trial? Anybody? Because I got one person saying it required a username and password, which is not supposed to be. It's supposed to be just click, and if you have an account, click and join that room. Patience, folks. Yeah, um, Nasdaq is still strong. The RTY is not giving me what I want. RTY, come on. It is strong. However, I don't have a specific stop on the RTY. It you know averaging. Um, if you do averaging, you shouldn't have a stop loss above 60 40. I'll mark it. Hold on. 42, 1642 on RTY. But this is not a trade call, folks. I don't want to get into a trade knowing the direction only. It could go lower, take these attraction levels, come back lower, and then go back higher. So I'll leave it alone. Uh, the other way to trade it, if you're doing options, maybe short-term options. But to me, it's not. I see it going back higher for now, but there's nothing in it for me. I don't like this. Market is very, very lethargic, hesitant, choppy, extremely choppy. I had one official trade call that on crude that did go for 20 ticks, but we took first target at 10 on two contract that is still 20 ticks, but then it stopped the runner with minus 10. Of course, different results will be because maybe different people will get into different prices. So we could have maybe better, but overall it was a good call. Other than that, folks, I have to wait and see what's next. There's nothing in this for me at this time. Questions, folks? Please don't hesitate. Ask. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have some better moves, more stable. I think today was productive, just avoiding the bad moves. The anticipated markets worked as I planned them, but I didn't have anything other than the crude. For now, sit back, relax. Um,
Drink some coffee if you got it, or smoke them if you need it.
Cuban
I don't
cigar,
condone it. I'm just saying.
Cuban cigars. No. Oh my God, this is very. Look at the RTY. That's okay. I don't feel bad if I miss a trade or if I miss a move. It is what it is. You miss it, you miss it. That's part of the whole business. I don't chase. Um, I'll wait. And I asked you earlier, Brad, how do you see the market for scalping? So then now you're answering. Exactly. It was strange. Yes, I see the volume, see the movement. Um, it's very choppy. Are you filtering your trades according to the volume uh, levels or the lines that you establish ahead of time? Yeah, today was not the best for scalping. It was range small movements, but still was not good for scalping. Looking at CL, hopefully, I don't know if I can get another entry long. I don't have anything now. There is a level that is a bit strong, which is right where it is now. Um, very close. I want to see how the crude is coming down, inhaling these traction levels one after the other. I'm looking at its continuation zone now. No, DQ, no, I don't look at ES. Um, well, the methodology will remain the same. I don't have to call or to look at every instrument because the methodology will be the same. The idea is to show you how it works and help you understand it, help you understand the volume behind it, and how to make good decisions. Um, so I focus on these things and easier. Now I have not looked at ES. I have not looked at ES for many years. I look at it, but I would look at it every now and then, but I don't enjoy it. One of the things I look at also is SPX 500 on CFDs. That gives me actually better understanding of the volume. I don't know. I just never developed a taste for it. Maybe too slow. You're welcome. When I started long time ago, years ago, I was a scalper. Um, so maybe that's why I never liked it. At one point, I used to like treasury markets, but even that, I stopped it. Sure, man. Sure. There you go. RTY. Yeah, hopefully we learned the lesson of patience today. I am not interested in hesitant markets. I like to see some stability. I was hoping for the crude to go according to plan, but no harm done. It was still a little bit of a profit on it if you followed the trade call. Um, Other than that, we wait. I'll be 2 minutes, folks. Right back. back. Maybe I would find something in the afternoon. Overall, big player at 64.68 on crude. Yeah. I see that. I see. There's. Here's what I see on crude. If this doesn't hold, hold on. Here, if 64.65, this is the new level. This is the do or die. Tool, arrow, up and down. We can see if this doesn't hold 65, it's coming back down all the way to 64, 25, 30 area. So it was a bit, tough. Let's see crude possibility. Did you scalp 96, Brad? Short on crude? 95, 96? Do you trade crude? No, okay. You don't trade crude, do you? Okay. So this line, lower line, is a do or die. Crude is more likely now to come back lower. We have more attractions lower. Thing is, we might have to call it. I might have to call it with a very small stop loss, short on crude. Um, Stop loss has to be maybe below 65.5. Let me see if I can grab a short or call it a short. I mean, possible short coming up. CL possible short coming up. I see possibilities for the crude to come back lower, and I don't know if it's going to give me that chance. Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, it is slow. It is lethargic. It is choppy at times. See you tomorrow, Jennifer. We have like 15 minutes to go before we close the room anyway.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions, want to shoot me an email or give me a call, don't hesitate. And like I said, if I don't get back to you right away, it's just because I'm going to be kind of tied up this afternoon. But I will get back to you. And like I said, don't be afraid to tell me what you think of the room. Give me your feedback, anything like that. We're here. We're totally transparent. We're honest, guys. I want you to be profitable in the markets. Simon wants you to be profitable. That's why he's very cautious. That's why he's very patient.
Um, I just called a short on CL with a 5-tick stop, 6-tick stop or so. Okay, 65.05 is your stop. That's the worst case scenario. So if worst case scenario, it's going to be okay. T1 6 ticks. What price you folks got? 65, 64, 96 to 98 to 65 is good. You see it's a small stop. So even if I get stopped out on crude, which I just called, stop loss is 65.05. If you got in at 64, 97, 98, 96, it's a very small stop. Your stop loss is straight, a few ticks. And your first target is very, very small, 6 ticks. So if we get 6 ticks first target, that secures our stop, okay? Which means we're going to have a free trade on the runner. Okay, first target. There's a reason why I called out first target to be 6 ticks. If you got in a good entry, your 6 ticks now, first target is out, right? If worst case scenario, the stop loss is 05, which is basically the stop loss is going to be here. You see, this is the stop loss, 65.05. And if you grabbed your first target, we got a move of a few ticks down. If you got a good entry, that was 6 ticks. If not, then it's fine. It's a very small stop, and this is how I concentrate on the market. If I see a short trade, and if the market gives me some kind of a confirmation, then I'll call it with the least amount of risk possible to me. Remember, I said I want to see a short on crude from this level to come back down to this level to 64.60, which is a very nice move if it happens. If it doesn't happen, it's a very small stop, and and if you got a good entry, you already got your first target out. Very small trade. I was anticipating, you know, But the day is choppy anyway, so keep it safe.
Jennifer, great to have you in here.
I did not get a chance to grab the first target. It came close to it, to the 6 ticks. So this was a very small stop out. And that's how you reduce risk. You have to understand your risk ahead of time. And you know if the stop loss out, if the stops hit 65, which I mentioned here, 65.05, it has a chance to go even higher against you. So knowing the stops, knowing the smart stops is very important to calculate your risk ahead of time. Make sense, folks? It will be a shame if the market, if the crude goes back up without another opportunity. Crude to me was targeting 65, where is it? 60, 66.50. So to me, first thing in the morning, I said crude is targeting 66.50. So it will be a shame if it goes up fast without us getting in it. Hey, that's your 17, Brad. Nice. Brad is a good scalper, by the way, folks. He's a scalping machine. Let me look at the gold. Gold. Nothing there. Good job, Brad. Tomorrow we might do some more examples of how the volume works. I don't get involved in choppy markets, folks. Daryl, anything before we close? We have another maybe 3-4 minutes.
No, I just want everybody to thank everybody for coming. And like I said, if you have any questions, do not hesitate. Be like me. Shoot holes in it. And if it's still afloat, like a mentor of mine once said, then it's got to be a good thing. We want to help you guys. It is.
Where do you come up with these? Yeah.
Somebody once said to me, continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. Guess what? It ain't going to happen. In other words, it's the definition of insanity. And like I said, I'm a Minnesota nice guy, and I want to help everybody. As much as I will help you, I will bend over backwards for you. And Simon does the same thing. It's one of the things that really attracted me. He's honest, he's transparent, he's not going to lead you astray.
Yeah, you're gonna be with me for a long time, so there's no point of misleading anybody. What you see is what you get. Some days are slower than others, and some people appreciate the fact that we don't chase, we don't fight over a few ticks, and we don't. If the market is not safe, I don't get in, and if I go to get in, I have to know my stop loss ahead of time. So even if I have a losing trade or a losing day, I know it's going to be just a few ticks. due to my style and what I impose, what I teach as well. So thanks everybody. We're going to be closing in a few minutes. Any questions before we leave?
Yeah, take a moment and watch that ADD video for people. It's an eye opener, guys. It is. And you wonder why there's such a high percentage of people in the markets that lose money. It's because they can't control the button, the mouse button, and they want to click, click, click so many times and don't have patience. Thanks, Simon. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Daryl. Thanks everybody. Brad, Jennifer, DQ, Raj.
Thanks, Raj.
Thanks everybody. I'll see you
Don't forget,
tomorrow.
guys, invite
Michael.
a friend. What the heck?
Exactly. See you everybody. Bye for now. Thanks, Daryl. Patrick, thank you.